Everyone tells you the Mediterranean diet is the gold standard for longevity. But in 2026, the data shows that most people are actually accelerating their aging by following the wrong version. Today, we're not talking about pasta and bread. We're talking about the bio-optimized Mediterranean protocol, the exact blueprint used by the world's top longevity clinics to reverse biological age. In this video, I'm revealing the 3 hidden supernutrients you're missing, why your olive oil might be fake, and the specific AI-backed adjustments that can add a decade to your life. If you want to stop guessing and start living, this is for you.
Hi everyone, Dr. Thomas here. Today we're diving into episode 4 of our series, How to De-Age Just by Switching Up Your Diet. If you missed the first few installments, make sure to head over to our playlist to get caught up. Okay, so let's get right into it. For decades, we've been fed a pretty watered down version of the Mediterranean diet. I mean, think about it, right? We hear Mediterranean diet and we immediately picture pasta, bread, maybe some chicken. And look, while that's definitely better than a fast food diet, it is a million miles away from the vibrant, nutrient dense way of eating that allows people in the blue zones to thrive. This popular version, it completely misses the point. It's like having a recipe for an amazing meal, but leaving out all the most important herbs and spices. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. You see, most modern versions are missing the why behind the what. And that why is absolutely crucial for longevity. We've kind of been tricked by marketing, by convenience, and honestly, by just not understanding what our bodies truly need to fight aging on a cellular level. It isn't just about avoiding the bad stuff. It's about actively eating the right stuff to fight back against things like chronic inflammation and oxidative stress. So, the big question is, how do we fix this? Well, welcome to what we're calling the bio-optimized Mediterranean protocol. Now, this is not your grandma's diet. This is a science-backed, AI-informed approach that's really designed for the 21st century longevity seeker. It takes all that ancient wisdom and just supercharges it with what we now know about cellular biology. This protocol is really built on 3 key pillars. The first one, and this one might be the most exciting, introduces 3 kind of hidden super nutrients. I want you to think of these as activators. They literally switch on our body's own anti-aging and repair pathways. Okay, first up is Urolithin A, which I like to call the mitochondrial cleaner. Now, here's the interesting part. This isn't something you eat directly. It's a really special compound that your own gut bacteria create after you eat certain foods. And its main job? To kick off a process called mitochondria, which is basically cellular housekeeping for your mitochondria. The tiny power plants inside every single one of your cells. So why should you care about that? Well, as we get older, our mitochondria just get worn out and inefficient. By cleaning out all the damaged ones, urolithin A helps improve things like muscle endurance and really boosts your overall cellular energy. And you can give your body the building blocks it needs from foods like pomegranates, walnuts, and raspberries. All right, next on the list we have Spermidine, the autophagy inducer. Autophagy is another one of these cellular cleanup processes, but it's much broader. Think of it like a full-on spring cleaning for your cells, getting rid of all sorts of junk that's built up over time. But here's the catch. Our natural levels of spermidine drop, and I mean significantly, as we get older. And that means this whole cleanup process just slows way, way down. So boosting your spermidine intake helps kickstart that cellular repair process all over again. And this doesn't just support your immune system, it also helps protect your brain. And the sources for this are actually pretty fascinating. It's not just about fruits and veggies. You can find really high levels of spermidine in some surprising places, like aged cheeses, shiitake mushrooms, and even fermented soy products like natto. And our third super nutrient is astaxanthin. I want you to think of this as the ultimate antioxidant bodyguard for your cells. It's the pigment that gives salmon and krill that reddish pink color, and its power is just staggering. It's way, way more potent at neutralizing those damaging free radicals than even vitamin C or vitamin E. What makes astaxanthin so special is its unique structure. It can actually span the entire cell membrane, which means it offers protection from both the inside and the outside. This is huge for protecting your skin and your eyes, and because it can cross the blood-brain barrier, it gives direct antioxidant support right to your brain. Wild-caught salmon is going to be your best whole food source here. Okay, let's switch gears and move to our second pillar. We're going to tackle a staple of the Mediterranean diet, olive oil. But I have to give you a really important and frankly kind of shocking alert here. Not all olive oil is created equal, not by a long shot. The hard truth is that the market is absolutely flooded with low quality, diluted, and sometimes even fake olive oil. So many of the bottles you see on supermarket shelves are cut with cheaper oils or they've been processed with heat, which completely destroys the very compounds that give you the health benefits. We're talking about the polyphenols. These are the powerful antioxidants and anti inflammatories that make olive oil a true health food in the first place. So, how do you find the real deal? Okay, a few simple things to look for. First, always look for a harvest date and try to get the most recent one you can find. Second, it has to be in a dark bottle to protect it from light damage. Third, look for the words cold pressed. And finally, a fantastic sign of high quality polyphenol rich olive oil is a peppery or bitter kick at the back of your throat. That sensation, that's actually a compound called oleocanthal, and it has incredibly potent anti inflammatory effects. And that brings us to our final pillar. And this is where ancient wisdom gets a seriously modern upgrade. So we've identified the right nutrients and the best quality ingredients. But the final, ultimate step is personalization. How do you tailor all this information specifically for your body? Well, that's where AI comes in. We now have access to these incredible tools, like continuous glucose monitors. Just imagine this. You eat a meal, and you can see right there on your phone in real time exactly how it impacts your blood sugar. You can learn that one type of bread causes this huge spike for you, while another one barely moves the needle. This kind of immediate personal data is the key to turning a general diet into a precision guided protocol for your own biology. This means no more guesswork. AI can help you fine tune your intake of healthy fats, complex carbs, and proteins based on your genetics, your activity levels, and even your sleep patterns. This is where the Mediterranean diet truly becomes a longevity protocol tailored just for you. So you see, by focusing on these hidden super nutrients, demanding quality in your staples like olive oil, and using technology to really personalize your approach, you can transform your diet into a powerful tool for de-aging. But, and this is a big but, it leads to one final crucial question. Is this powerful protocol truly for everyone? All right, so let's get right into it. Before we can answer that question, we really need to understand why this diet got its amazing reputation in the first place. I mean, what's the secret sauce? What makes it so incredibly powerful? So, why do we call it the gold standard? Well, because the science is just rock solid. We're talking about decades of serious research here. This is no fad diet. This is a clinically proven game plan for better health. Now, what you're looking at here isn't just a shopping list, it's a powerful pattern. It's about synergy. You've got tons of fruits, veggies, nuts, and that amazing olive oil all working together. You get tons of fiber, healthy fats, and antioxidants. And it's this exact combination that study after study has linked to a much lower risk of heart disease and, you guessed it, a longer life. But here's where it gets really mind blowing. The benefits go way beyond just protecting your heart. We're now finding out that this way of eating can actually influence the aging process itself, right down to your very DNA. Okay, so let's zoom in, way in. We're going to the molecular level now to see how the food on your plate can literally affect the biological clock that's taken away inside every single one of your cells. You know those little plastic tips on your shoelaces, the ones that stop them from unraveling? Well, that's kind of what telomeres are for your chromosomes. They're protective caps. But every time your cells divide, these little caps get a tiny bit shorter. And how short they are is a pretty direct measure of your biological age. And guess what has a huge impact on how fast they shrink? Your diet. Wow, just look at that number. Let that sink in. This comes from a study where people followed a Mediterranean style diet for just 1 year. And the result? They actually reversed their biological age by almost a year and a half. This isn't science fiction, people. This is the very real, very measurable power of food. And this lays it out perfectly. It's like a battle happening inside your cells. On one side, you have these amazing whole plant based foods, your telomere protectors. They're loaded with stuff that fights inflammation. And on the other side, you've got the pro aging foods, the ultra processed stuff that literally speeds up the shortening process. So, the choice you make at every meal directly impacts how quickly you age. Okay, at this point, you're probably thinking, case closed, Mediterranean diet for the win. It protects your heart, it can literally reverse your biological age. What's not to love? But what if your main goal isn't just living longer in general? What if you're trying to optimize for one specific, really important thing, like protecting your brain? And this, right here, is where the plot thickens. Because while the Mediterranean diet is definitely good for your brain, it turns out there might be an even better way to eat specifically for neuroprotection. I mean, this quote from a major study basically says it all. This is the plot twist. When scientists looked specifically at what could lower the risk of Alzheimer's, they found that a completely different dietary pattern was actually more predictive, even more so than the Mediterranean diet. And that brings us to the Mind diet. It's exactly what it sounds like. It takes the absolute best brain protecting parts of the Mediterranean and DASH diets and fuses them together into this highly specialized tool designed to fight cognitive decline. Think of it not as a replacement, but as a strategic upgrade. So, what exactly is this upgrade? How is it different? Well, let's put them head to head and see what makes the Mind diet such a powerhouse for brain health. Okay, this is the key right here. It's all about specificity. The Mediterranean diet is great, but it gives general advice, like eat some leafy greens. The Mind diet, it says no, eat 6 or more servings a week. See the difference? It's not just eat fruit, it's eat berries at least twice a week. It's super targeted on the foods that protect the brain and way, way stricter on the ones that can harm it, like cheese and fried food. And here's the real kicker. A huge part of the Mind diet's magic isn't just about what you add to your plate. It's about what you aggressively take away. By being so strict about limiting things like cheese and red meat, you're essentially starving the inflammation that can damage the brain and helping prevent the buildup of those nasty plaques linked to Alzheimer's. All right, so what do you do with all this information? How do we put this all together? Well, it's all about moving past a one size fits all approach and building a smart, personalized strategy that lines up with your health goals. It's actually a pretty simple 3 step strategy. Step 1, start with the Mediterranean diet as your foundation. It's still the best all around blueprint out there. Step 2, if protecting your brain is a top priority for you, then you optimize. You layer on those specific powerful principles from the Mind diet. And step 3, no matter what, focus on quality. You got to avoid the processed, watered down versions of these foods and stick to the real, whole stuff. So, I really want to leave you with this one question because it changes everything. Are you just eating, or are you consciously using food as a tool to engineer a longer, healthier, more vibrant life? So, you've learned that the Mediterranean diet isn't just a diet, it's a dynamic, evolving blueprint for extended health span. By incorporating these bio-optimized strategies, you're not just eating better, you're actively reversing your biological clock. If you're ready to stop guessing and start living with vitality, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Join the Golden Years Pulse community where we decode the science of longevity together. And speaking of decoding, in our next video, I'm going to reveal the secret centenarian ingredient that almost no one talks about, but is absolutely critical for maintaining muscle mass as you age. You won't want to miss it. Until next time, stay curious, stay optimized, and keep pulsing towards a longer, healthier life.